Alright, let's see what happens this time. Again, if it breaks again, we're gonna dial it back once more. And then if it breaks again after that, then we're just going back to the way it has been, because that is what works. It just looks the worst. And I'm getting so sick and tired of it, because it looks like fucking shit. Compared to like 6-7 years ago, when I was able to upload fucking the highest quality content known to mankind. I was able to fucking edit videos perfectly. Was able to make thumbnails, no problem. Overall, this computer sucks, and I can't stop talking about how bad it sucks. It is one of the worst. Truly. And this shit came out 2 years ago. Keep that in fucking mind, bro. It's not like this shit's 10 years old. This shit was brand new. Came out that year when I bought it. And it's so bad. School computers would fucking be better than this. I'll be honest. It's so bad. But I'm doing what I can. And, yeah, if we go back to default, there is one thing I can maybe try, and that's to turn on the upscaling by default, which is, it's on by cubic right now, which is 16 samples, filtering, whatever the fuck. But there's also an option for me to add scaling as like a filter on the video itself, basically. I don't know how to fucking describe this differently, to be honest. But you know how I can add, like, I could change the contrast and the brightness of what you guys are seeing? I could basically do that, but with the scaling. I don't know how it actually works, because I haven't tried that before, but that is an option I can try. Anyway, let me just make sure YouTube is on, Kick is on. Go chat. Now everyone knows the gist of what's happening. I don't think I have to repeat myself, because it's only been like 5 minutes. Maybe a little bit more, I don't know. I wasn't really counting. Also, I wish there was a way for me to figure out, like, what songs will get me copyright banned versus copyright striked. Because if I get a copyright claim, I'm okay with that. But if I get banned, I won't be okay with that, because now my channel's gone forever. But I want to know so bad, because I want to use fairy tale music for so much fucking shit when it comes to content. Because it just knows how to get the emotions right. Like if something sad happens, they have the perfect fucking sad music. If I need everyone to be energized, they got like energizing music. They have literally fucking everything a content creator would ever need. But it's heavily copyrighted. Like extremely so. Even showing the image right now is probably already doing too much, to be honest. But I wish there was a way for me to just like call the fucking music owners, the right holders, and just ask, like, hey, can I, like, use this certain tracks for content just because I love them so much? Y'all can take all the money from it. I don't care. That's fine by me. That's why I'm okay with copyright claims. That just means the owners are taking whatever profits the video is making. And that's okay, because my videos aren't making any profits right now. Well, that's not true. There's, like, 3 of them, but it's nothing crazy. It's not life-changing shit. So I could care less. But if you got a content or a copyright strike, at least on YouTube, you're only allowed to get 2 of those. Your first one is a warning. And I got my first one, I think, last year or 2 years ago. After 13 years, I got my first one. Because I was eating while watching videos, and I left the camera rolling. And yeah, I don't do that, basically, especially if you don't have a webcam on, because I was eating. If you're not talking, just don't do that, basically. That makes sense. Obviously, don't do that, but I was in the zone of, like, I want you guys to know what I'm watching as I'm eating for, like, 10 minutes. But that was a big no-no. So if I get another strike on the channel, because you can't get rid of them, aside from last year, like during December, there was like a quick 7-day thing they did to like get rid of strikes, and I fucking missed the window for that. So I wasn't able to get rid of mine. But if you get 2 of them, your channel gets deleted permanently, and you can never get it back again. I don't think you're allowed to make a second channel under your name, like your legal names. I don't think you're allowed to do that. And technically, you can't use another name that isn't yours legally. But we live in the digital age. I don't think they really care about that anymore. That's more like early 2000s. Because, like, for example, you know how my username is what it is? That's technically illegal to have it like that. That's supposed to be like your first name and your last name, like your actual legal name. Your usernames, fucking all that shit is supposed to be your name. But again, I don't think the law really gives a fuck about that anymore, to be honest. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the next 30 minutes, see if this breaks or not. Again, if it breaks, I'll downscale the filter again. Or not the filter, I'll downscale the sharpening. Whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what it's called. I just know what it does. And then if that doesn't work, we'll just go back to defaults, and I will just try to bump it up as much as I can from there, which is probably what I should have did at the beginning, was just go up from where we were instead of going to the maximum and going down from there. But either way, we have like one more adjustment to make before we're back at 720p defaults, basically. So we'll see what happens. I'm still doing what I can, and let it be known that literally the fucking same day I can upgrade this shitty ass computer is going to be the same day our quality is going to look much better. It's going to be at minimum 1080p because that is literally the minimum. And 60 FPS, because that is technically important. A lot of people may not notice it, especially if you're on like a phone or something, but when it comes to fast-paced games and things with a lot of things happening all the time, it is kind of important to do that. I don't think you can upload higher than 60 FPS anywhere that I've seen yet, to be honest. But I'd also like to, I don't know, get a new TV or something that is over 60 FPS, because my console, the Xbox Series S, I know it's not the X, but I got it because it was fucking cheaper and it was on sale, so fuck you. But this thing can go up to, 120 FPS. And because my TV can't do that, that means the console can't do that. Which leads to something called bottlenecking, which is when your system is more powerful than you're like letting it be, so it like performs worse because it can't get the full advantage of its power supply and whatnot. Essentially, it's a little weird how that happens. You would think it wouldn't happen like that, but that is the way it works. Same with like computers. If you plug a computer into a monitor that's like 30 FPS instead of 60, you know it's just gonna hurt your computer more than make it better, basically. It's a little quirk of technology that they still really haven't figured out a workaround for that, to be honest. The Series S is not the best, don't get me wrong. This shit is... I think it came out like 5 years ago now. I think we're reaching like the 4 or 5 year mark of this shit, because around like COVID time. And, yeah, compared to other consoles, mostly PlayStation, this thing is not aging very well. And has had problems. More often than not, to be honest, compared to the Xbox One, that didn't really have any problems whatsoever, other than the fact that it was just slow as shit. But I am a firm believer in saying, even this summer too, that Microsoft is not good in the console department anymore. Since the Xbox One, and even before that, I think the 360 was like their best console they had. But they do have Game Pass, and that is what they are doing to win everything right now, is just Game Pass existing. Because it's like the Netflix of games. That's the only fucking thing Microsoft really has going for it, is Game Pass. PlayStation wins the console department by a fucking long shot. The PlayStation 5, It's not a big difference compared to the Xbox Series X, but it does perform slightly better. But then PlayStation, 2 years later, 3 years later, either like last year or 2 years ago, they were like, fuck it, let's bring out the PS5 Pro out of nowhere to make it even better. Because no one asked for it, but they gave it to them anyways. And Xbox is just being like, fuck you, use Game Pass. You can use Game Pass on fucking PC anyways. So they don't give a fuck. They don't care if their console sucks. They know it sucks. That's why they made PC Game Pass a thing. So you can play the same games on Game Pass on your computer. Looks better, runs better. Fuck, if you want a controller, plug your fucking controller into your computer. Problem solved. You know? Now, maybe I'm just a little biased because I am a computer guy at heart. I'm a mouse and keyboard guy. I have been since a kid. Actually, that's not true. I had a PS2. Then I bought a PS3 when I was like 14 or 15. I like saved up some money to get a PS3, and it was the cheapest PS3 available because it was the Slim. And yeah, that shit had like 15 gigabytes of storage, and that was it. I was able to install Minecraft and Netflix, and that was it. And I didn't even use Netflix, but it just kind of came with it. Because it was meant to be the more like portable system. And that shit kind of sucked too. But I'm a PC guy at heart, man. And maybe that's why I'm like, you know, the Xbox Series X and X, S and X aren't performing the best like 4 or 5 years later. Because I'm so used to PC. Like for those of you that have been like an Xbox fanboy for the longest time, like do the X and S still feel the same? Do they feel like they're lacking a little bit for you now that they've been out for as long as they have? Because for me they do. Because in the fucking computer world, computer fucking technology is changing literally every single year. The graphics card you had last year has been upgraded to be better the following year. That's literally how it works. And if you don't upgrade your graphics card every like 5 to maybe 6 or 7 years, then you're underperforming, essentially. Which is a downside, aside from consoles, because if you have a console, they only come out with a new fucking console every like 7-10 years when they release a new one. Which is around the same time you should be upgrading your computer parts, essentially. But I think I didn't know how good I had it when I did, man. That shit could literally handle anything. I hope Darius is using that computer to the fullest of its abilities to this day. I wish I still had the number so I could fucking text him that, because he literally lives in the city now. I don't know how far away he is, but he literally lives in the city now. We could be fucking hanging out right now. But I don't have his number anymore, and I can't go into Twitch to like catch him on a live stream to say anything. And I don't think he reads his YouTube chat, so. But I hope he's using that shit, man. He wanted that shit so bad. Like that summer they let me stay at their house for like the whole summer. He was gonna get his like first job to get a computer. Like save up money the entire summer just to get a computer. And then I came around and I was like, I have nowhere to go this summer, and you're like my only friend I hang out with. Can I just like stay here for a little bit? And they were a little iffy at first, because they were not the richest family by any means, you know. They're kind of in the same position I am now, where there's a lot of rice and beans that is being consumed, you know. So, you know, their first thought was like, we can't feed another fucking child, pretty much. Because I would have been, well, I guess I wouldn't have been a child. I was like 15 or 16, I think, around that time. Before I actually went homeless. I mean, I guess that technically was the first time I went homeless, because I couldn't go back home. I don't know. Either way, I basically gave that to him as a way for them to be like, yes, you can stay here, but we're not going to feed you every week. And that's okay. You know, I can get food. That's fine. But that was the only leverage I have, was here's a $4,000 fucking computer. It's got the keyboard. It's got the headset. It's got the fucking gaming mouse. You can have my fucking microphone too. Fuck it, dude. Have it all. Have the whole setup. And sure enough, you know, during high school, or not during his graduation or whatnot, he became a Twitch dude. better at Twitch than I was, to be honest. That motherfucker grew quickly. And, I think he mostly grew quickly because he's a Super Smash Bros. Player. He's kind of well known in the city, to be honest. He does a lot of tournaments in the city. I don't think he's been to nationals yet. I think it's only been regional tournaments he's done, but I feel like that is kind of where he started to gain traction, was thanks to what he enjoyed doing. Yeah, that's exactly what I told him to do too, because he saw me making content and he wanted to do the same thing. Because we were like roughly the same age, he was like 2 years younger or whatever, and he wanted to be a content creator too. And I told him everything he had to do. And that motherfucker did it, dude. He went and did it. And I just hope he's still doing it, because that computer is probably not as good as it used to be, but I also made it when I was ordering it and, like, telling the builders what to do. I basically told them to, like, make it as easy as possible to change out parts. Because I know damn well I'm gonna have to change shit in, 5-10 years. You're gonna have to change that shit. Even earlier if you want literally top tier performance. If you have something like a laptop, you can't even do that. I'm pretty sure all like laptop components are like fucking glued into place and like welded on. Whenever you want to upgrade your laptop, you literally just have to buy a new laptop. I don't think you can just change the parts in it. So if he does keep it, I hope he's at least upgrading it, because it was meant for that. I hope he doesn't just throw it out or something. I would kind of be heartbroken if he does that. Because, like, dude, if you don't want it, I'll take it back. I could just upgrade it, dude. It's easy. Upgrade the fucking, the graphics card, the CPUs, whatever it may be. Just upgrade that shit. And boom, works just as good. So hopefully he doesn't just throw it out. My heart would actually shatter into pieces if he does that. But it is his. He can do what he wants with it. It's not mine to own anymore. And it hasn't been it's been like 7 years now, I think. God, he's had it for maybe 6 to 7 years, I think. Something like that. Sorry, I'm just yelling to see this timer. Or not the timer. I'm calling it a timer now. If the fucking performance drops. Because it tends to break around the 30-minute mark, and I don't want to get into matches just for it to fucking break halfway through. It's gonna be fucking annoying. So I like to stall for as long as I can up to that 30-minute mark to see if it breaks, because that way, all I did was talk. We didn't actually do any content yet. Therefore, I don't feel like I've wasted my time. But actually, it's doing pretty good. It hasn't dipped down whatsoever. And the CPU is relatively under 40%. It goes up and down, but it's better than 60 to 70%. Right now it's in like the 20 to 30 range, which is realistically where it should be. I just hope it stays like that. Because I haven't seen the quality yet, so I don't know how it is compared to yesterday's quality. We turned it down a notch. So before we were in, like, I don't know, 864p or whatever the fuck. YouTube, you can't see that option. It just says 720p for you. It just looks better than 720 does. But we are in 810p this time. It is a downgrade from where we were at. But, it's better than 1080p. 1080p is like a 500 times, like, difference in demand or something like that for, like, your computer and your internet or whatever compared to, like, 720. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something fucking drastic like that. Like, the numbers don't make it seem like it'd be that big of a difference, but it's a massive fucking difference in terms of, like, requirements and system power and whatnot. That's all I can really talk about when it comes to that, because I don't know many other things other than those things I've talked about. I don't even know the difference between a GPU and CPU. I'm gonna be fucking 100% honest. I do not know. I'm pretty sure the CPU is more important than the GPU, but I genuinely don't know what the fuck the difference is. I do not know. I used to know. Then I stopped caring because I didn't have a computer anymore, so I was like, why would I need to remind myself if I don't have a computer anymore? Anyway. I'm also trying to finish eating, but holy fuck. I have made this shit super hearty, which is awesome, but also means I can eat a lot less of it in one sitting. This is genuinely the healthiest meal I could be making every day, to be honest. It's not exciting. It's very bland and boring, but in terms of getting some sort of nutrients in my body, it's a start. It's a start. I just cannot eat it as fast as I used to be able to. And I already eat fucking slow as it is. But I've been working on this shit for like, what, 2 hours now? 2.5 hours? I've been fucking eating this shit slowly. Which I think I am okay with. When I make a meal like this, it kind of feeds me for the entire day, to be honest. Unless I, eat it at like 8 a.m., then it might not feed me all day, but if I eat it anywhere past 12, it should be enough to feed me for the whole day. I won't get into the specifics, though. Then I think the next big food upgrade that needs to happen is I need more fruits and vegetables once again in my life. Because it's been too long since I've had a lot of fruit and vegetables. And like good fruits and vegetables. I'm not talking like fucking, basic ass shit. I'm talking about the shit that's actually good for you. Like spinach and kale, I know for most of you that sounds lame as fuck, but I mean if you cook it into a good meal, it's actually good. And it's good for you. And now that my body is fucking healing itself properly, and I'm actually seeing the results of that, I need to start fucking maintaining that. Taking care of my shit. So I don't end up the way I have been for the past 4 to 8 years. It's still crazy that this year has been the best I've been feeling for the past 8 years. Like, so much bad shit has happened this year, but I'm just like fucking ignoring the fuck out of that shit. And focusing on the fact that I've stayed alive long enough for the healing phase to finally show results, essentially. Because I've been trying to heal for a very goddamn long fucking time. But nothing was really happening. No matter what I did, or no matter how hard I tried, no matter what fucking help I tried to get, nothing really helped. But it turns out my body literally just needed time. And also less stress. Now that my dad is gone, that totally helps. Because that's the whole reason why I left during high school, was because of him. Just to end up living back with him like fucking 5 years later? 5, 6 years later? I don't remember how long it actually was, but it was around that I was gone for. Doing my own thing, being on my own, getting my own fucking rooms, apartments, fucking whatever it may be. That's why I went homeless, was to fucking get away from it. Because like I said, it was either that, or I literally killed myself. I guess going homeless was kind of like leaning on the edge of the second option there, but we survived. Mainly because my body wouldn't let me die. I personally didn't care if I died out in the fucking forest, but my body said no. My body is meant to live, My brain, my soul, maybe not as much, but, my body has the primal urge to fucking survive. Aside from make babies, I guess, but I'm keeping that shit down at the moment. It's very hard. The first year, very complicated. But I've been single for what? 3 years now? We're going on 3 years soon? Like I said, first year, hardest year of my life. The years after that, has been fucking awesome. I can't be fucking honest. It's been so much better being fucking single. It's lonely, don't get me wrong, but I already like my alone time anyways. I need it. I need my time to, like, think and adjust and, like, process things. Which is why I kind of just stay to myself most of the day. Probably, like, 50% or more of a day is just kind of doing my own thing. And that's also because just being social 24/7 drains my fucking energy like crazy. I don't remember what, like, personality trait that's called, but it's the same reason why I can literally put myself in someone else's shoes to think about, like, how they would feel and shit like that. It's the same reason to why that happens, basically. And it doesn't matter if, like, the crowd is fucking happy, if the crowd is sad, it does not matter. It's going to drain the fuck out of my energy so much. And that's just something I've learned to live with, honestly. It sucks, but clearly my body is doing what it needs to do, and I'm so fucking grateful that I'm able to see that happening now. Sure, it took 8 fucking years, or 4 years, depending on how you look at it, for, like, results to finally start fucking showing. But I think the biggest thing that was holding me back was the fucking sleep issues for 8 years. I think that was the biggest fucking thing holding me the fuck back in life. Because, you know, my body couldn't repair itself properly. The immune system was not good. That's why I was probably getting sick all the time. You know, now my stomach's fucked. Now I'm eating differently. Or now I'm eating more. I'm eating less. Now my circadian rhythm's all fucked up. Now I'm going to bed when the sun comes up. Because my body is just not maintaining itself. Because rest is literally just as important as, like, eating and drinking. If someone told you they didn't eat or drink for 2 days, you would think they're fucking insane. People would be like, oh, I haven't slept in 3 days. It's the same thing as eating as fucking drinking, man. Like, you need to do that shit every fucking day. And properly. 2 hours ain't gonna cut it, you know? That's also something they just never taught us in school, to be honest. At least not in the school I went to, they didn't teach us that shit. And if they did, I didn't pay attention. Because I was probably like, yeah, obviously. I did that a lot in school. Just like a lot of yeah, no shit moments in school. Especially when it came to, like, sex ed class, bro, learning about, like, STDs and shit. Use protection. No shit. That's the number one reason it was created. It wasn't to prevent fucking pregnancies. That's just a bonus of it. And even then, that's not 100%. It was really meant to protect yourself. That's why it's called protection. You're not protecting against pregnancy. The fuck? I mean, you are nowadays, I guess, but that was like just a yeah, no shit moment in school. When they were like, STDs are bad, and this is how you get them, and that's why you need to protect yourself. It was just like, yeah, no shit. Obviously, duh. If you don't know that, you're stupid. If you don't care about that, you're even stupider. Honest to God. For those of you that don't get yourself fucking checked like once a year if you're sexually active, y'all are fucking crazy bastards out here. Honest to God. Literally green eggs and ham is what you got, and you need to get that shit figured out. Because the longer you wait to do that, the more you spread it to people. Now there's hundreds of people that have that shit because of you. Now people are dying because of you. Because you didn't get your fucking dick checked or your fucking pussy cleaned out. Gotta stay on top of that shit. If you're sexually active, obviously if you're not doing anything, you don't have to worry about it as much. You still should, at least every 2 years if you're not sexually active. Because, and at least for men usually, most STDs, I guess they're called STIs now because they're not diseases or whatever, but at least for men most of the time, you can go a good, like, 10 years without symptoms showing up. But that does not mean you don't have it. You could have like 2 minutes of like sharp pain, and then that's it for like 10 years, and that would have been like your warning sign that you have something. But then you just kind of forget about it because it didn't last very long. But you're still spreading it to people. That's why you gotta get checked. Again, I don't know if shit like that makes me fucking more smart or more stupid than your average person, but there was just a lot of shit in school when I was paying attention that was just no shit moments to me. Especially when it came to counting money. You know? Shit like that. All the easy fucking simple shit. There's no shit. But then they don't teach you what's important. How to get a mortgage, how to open a bank account, how to actually make a resume. Would have been a good thing to teach in school. They didn't teach that. They just said you have to have a resume. They didn't actually teach you how to fucking do it. And if they did, good job to your school. Maybe they're different, but my school definitely did not teach us that. Even in business class, they did not teach that. It's only business class, bro. Fucking 80% of that class was just learning how to fucking use Microsoft Word and fucking spreadsheet and shit like that. It's like, no. That shit takes 10 minutes to learn what you have to do. It doesn't take weeks and weeks and weeks to learn how to use that shit. It literally takes 10 minutes. If you're using Microsoft Word, you literally just have to know how to change your font, bigger, smaller, bold, that shit, and learn how to save it. Learn how to, change the paragraph spacing, instead of being on the left, you can put it in the middle. And then maybe bullet points if you want something slightly more fancy. And that is literally it. That is all you need to know how to fucking do. You don't have to learn how to fucking underline shit in different colors, how to fucking highlight shit, how to fucking do snippets or whatever. You don't have to know that fucking shit. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we have officially reached the 30-minute mark. Thank you for enjoying me stalling. I hope you enjoyed. We got 2 more minutes before we hit the infamous 34-minute mark where everything kills itself. But honestly, I think it's still good. The CPU percentage is starting to go up more. It's starting to go up more, but I think it might be okay. But I'm gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting a little bit. I'm stalling as long as I can. I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't want to get into the matches and shit, and then have the stream break, and now I have to fucking restart it all, and I have to back out of the fucking match to do that. And then I'm gonna get banned for an hour from joining matches because I fucking left halfway through. I just don't want to fucking deal with that. I'd rather know it's working, and then we just get into it. Versus it breaking. Halfway through something. The joys of being live, eh? Am I right, guys? Wouldn't recording be so much better so I could just hit the record for an hour? And then I could just cut out whatever the fuck is breaking? Wouldn't that be awesome if I could do that again? So the one thing I do like about live content is the fact that you guys are actually here. And it's a lot easier to grow when there's new people coming in constantly. I mean, videos can do that too, don't get me wrong, but live streaming is the same thing as walking into a store, Instead of just window shopping. You get to go in, see what's up. You get to have conversations. Not that you guys talk much, and that's okay, I had 3 years of making content, the past 3 years I should say, where I was not talking at all. I would talk in chat, and that would be it. I did not use my microphone, I did not use my camera, I just made content. But now you guys can have my voice again, and I don't sound like I'm a fucking teenager anymore. Not that I was a teenager 3 years ago, I guess I was still in my 20s. I just started being in my 20s, I guess is the way I should have worded that. The way I worded it just then made it sound like I'm turning fucking 30 soon. Which I'm not. And I don't even know if I will live that long, to be honest, but hey, we'll see what happens. You guys are coming along with that journey, though. Die, to be honest. Ooh, it was a minute later that time, y'all. That was not a bad dip, though. That was only 0.2. That was not that bad. If that's the only thing that happens, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I can live with that shit. You guys can live with that shit. Not the end of the couple words I say, just like there's happening right now. But then we're back, and but not if it's gonna happen too constantly. Oh, he's at the 30-minute mark, man. Between 30 to 40 minutes is when it starts breaking it. On average, every time. Why can't it just break the first, 5 minutes, so I don't have to wait as long to see if it's gonna break or not? I'm only at 0.5% though. I'm just keeping it, I'm really staring at it to see how often it's going down. It hasn't went down since the last time quite yet. It is freezing a little bit, but I think that's only on my end. I don't think it actually freezes for you guys when that happens. But when it dips down, that's when the video buffers. That's why you see the little thing in the middle of your screen. That's why that's happening. Which just literally just means my computer is shitting itself when that happens. Taking a little poop. The CPU has basically doubled. Almost tripled. We're back at 60 to 70 rather than the 20 to 30 we were at. What changed? I don't know. Literally nothing. I've just been looking at the screen, keeping an eye on these numbers, and talking for 30 minutes so we can hit this point. I might just need to factory reset my computer, and then de-bloat it immediately after I get back into it. The only reason why I don't want to do that is because I'm gonna lose all my passwords. And I made so many fucking new emails and shit with this fucking computer, I'm just gonna forget all of them. Although, I guess I do have two-step verification on my Google account now, so I won't be logged out again if I do that. Which is good, that means we'll be able to continue fucking making content this time. Unlike Twitch, because I can't log into Twitch because I need to verify myself, and that's okay, because I don't want to go back into Twitch anyways. I don't like Twitch compared to Kick. I think Kick's much better. It's a little harder to grow on Kick, but, it's better in terms of what they offer people. I guess you don't have a free Prime sub to subscribe to me, though. If you have Amazon Prime, at least on Twitch, you can use your Prime sub to give to your favorite content creator each month that you have Amazon Prime. And they will get the subscription revenue from that. And all you had to do was just pay the same thing you're already paying, instead of having to pay extra. And I think that's cool. It's not breaking as bad as yesterday, I will say that. It is breaking, but it's not for as long and it's not as often. I don't think it's enough to really cry about just yet. Which might mean we're able to fucking get started soon, I hope, because I started this early for a fucking reason. And I'm pretty damn sure we've already lost a little over an hour already. Just waiting for this shit to figure itself out. Which is fucking dumb and I hate it. If my computer was good enough, I wouldn't have to wait this fucking... Okay. I can't wait to upgrade this piece of shit, dude. Fucking wait. I don't even care if it is another laptop. This shit's almost... Keep up with the times. Itself is fucking made in 2023, bro. It was bad, out of the box. Ooh, that was a big dip that time. Well, I mean, I'm still cheerful enough to reset it for the third time if we need to. I totally could do that. Then we're gonna be back in fucking 720p though. I don't want to fucking do that yet. but they can handle. It can handle 720p no problem, and not often. Don't